In this video, we will talk about how to rotate a figure 270 degrees around the origin. So here are the only two rules that you need to know to rotate a figure. If you're rotating a figure 270 degrees clockwise, simply change all of the xy coordinates of the figure to -y, x. And if you're rotating counterclockwise, change all of the xy coordinates to y, -x. So I have this triangle ABC here. I'm going to show first an example of how to rotate it 270 degrees clockwise, and then I'll show an example of how to rotate it 270 degrees counterclockwise. So let's check out the first example. So I've written the xy coordinates for the points A, B, and C on this triangle. So if we want to rotate this triangle 270 degrees clockwise, here's the rule we can use. Just change all of the xy coordinates to -y, x. So for example, this first xy coordinate for A we'll switch the x and the y. So we'll say 1, -4. And notice that this y value right here that we switched over here, it needs to become the opposite sign. So it'll become a -1 instead. So let's label this A prime. This is our new A prime after we rotate the figure. All right, what about B? So we're going to flip the x and the y. So it will become 1, -2. And then this value right here will become the opposite sign. So it'll become a -1. So this is our new B prime. And then lastly, we'll flip the x and the y. So we'll have 5, -4. And this y needs to have the opposite sign. So it'll become a -5. So this is our new C prime. So if we plot these new points, let's see what that would look like. So A prime is -1, -4. So that's right here. So let's label this A prime. Our B prime is -1, -2, so that's right here. Call that B prime. And then C prime is -5, -4, so that's right here. So we'll call this C prime. So here is what our triangle looks like after rotating it 270 degrees clockwise around the origin. All right, now let's say that we want to rotate it 270 degrees counterclockwise. So we want to go this way instead. How could we do that? Well, let's use our rule right here. The xy coordinates become y, -x. So for example, this A will flip the x and the y to start. So we'll say 1, -4. And then this coordinate right here needs to have the opposite sign that it originally had. So instead of a -4, we actually want this to be a +4. So let's write +4. So this is our new A prime. All right, what about B? So we'll flip the x and the y, so 1, -2. But remember, instead of writing a -2, we want the opposite sign, so this will be a +2. So this is our new B prime. And then lastly, the C, we'll flip the x and the y, so we'll have 5. And instead of writing -4, we want the opposite sign, so we want a +4. So this is our new C prime. So let's see what it looks like if we plot these coordinates. So A prime is 1, 4, so 1, 4. Here's our A prime. B prime is 1, 2, so that's right here. Call that B prime. And C is 5, 4. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Call that C prime. So here is our triangle after rotating it 270 degrees around the origin. And you can use these two rules to rotate any figure 270 degrees either clockwise or counterclockwise around the origin.